A former operative for al-Qaeda says prominent members of Saudi Arabia's royal family have been major donors to terrorist causes. Chief Washington correspondent James Rosen looks at the explosive allegations from one of 9/11's infamous figures.
In sworn statements at the Supermax prison where he's serving a life sentence for terrorism, Zacarias Moussaoui, the so-called 20th hijacker in the 9/11 plot, testified in October that Saudi Arabia's government prior to 9/11 directly financed the operations of al-Qaeda. A French native and Arabic speaker who studied finance in London, Moussaoui recalled building a database of al-Qaeda donors. I remember many of them, Moussaoui testified, because some of them were known within the circle of the Mujahideen, some of them extremely famous, like Walid bin Talal, Prince Turki al-Faisal, and Prince Bandar bin Sultan. Those three men are, respectively, a leading Saudi businessman and major investor in the parent company of this network, the Saudi intelligence minister at the time, and the Saudi ambassador to the U.S. at the time. The Saudi prince, Abdullah, Moussaoui testified, referring to the future king whose 10-year reign ended with his death last month. He was a new prince at the time, They'll give $2-3 million. Moussaoui also recalled hand-delivering letters from Osama bin Laden to those Saudi royals and to the man who is now King Salman.
I'm not inclined to believe the word of a convicted terrorist who was involved in the September 11th attacks. But, Gretchen, there's one thing we do know, and that is that Saudi Arabia has been funding the schools, the Wahhabist fundamentalist schools across the Islamic world.
Moussaoui's testimony was taken by lawyers for 9/11 families who are suing the Saudi government for damages. The Saudi embassy called Moussaoui deranged and noted his own attorneys argued he was incompetent, although the federal judge in Moussaoui's terrorism trial ruled him extremely intelligent. The embassy also quoted the 9/11 Commission, which found, quote, no evidence that the Saudi government as an institution or senior Saudi officials individually funded al-Qaeda. But some U.S. officials who served on the 9/11 Commission and on a joint House-Senate inquiry into 9/11 remain deeply suspicious of Riyadh. Former Senator Bob Graham, a veteran of the joint inquiry, said the kingdom is mistaken in its claim that the government of Saudi Arabia has been fully exonerated of any culpability for the events of September 11, 2001 by the 9/11 Commission or any other investigation. I am convinced, Graham added, that there was a direct line between at least some of the terrorists who carried out the September 11th attacks and the government of Saudi Arabia. And former Senator Bob Kerrey of the 9/11 Commission said evidence relating to the plausible involvement of possible Saudi government agents in the September 11th attacks has never been fully pursued.
We continue to maintain strong counterterrorism cooperation with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Our mutual cooperation includes information sharing about shared threats from al-Qaeda and other violent extremist groups.
Moussaoui also detailed his life inside al-Qaeda, including the time when bin Laden's mother came to visit. Spending a week at his base in Afghanistan, she was greeted with a banquet and the festive firing of Russian machine guns and rocket-propelled grenades.